Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, today's show is sponsored by Crimson Ground Services. Full service excavation, concrete, and landscaping. Please check them out. Today's April Fool's Day. I hope none of you get fooled too bad. Joe Biden has announced that he is going to release from the oil reserve of this country $1 million a day for 6 months. Now, first off, not $1 million, 1 million barrels. Now, first off, that doesn't do any good. Second off, that reserve is for times of true emergency like war and complete economic catastrophe, although we're pretty close to that, I guess. But the other thing that cracks me up is the emergency and his timeline and what he's doing is only meant to help the emergency of the November 22nd midterm elections. He's a gangster, folks. He's using your and my reserves, oil reserves, to try to help him in the midterms. Disney, and I'm doing a separate video on the governor's race that I'd love you to watch today. But Disney is removing gender from their parks. But they're keeping prince and princess because they sell special packages if you want to be a princess. You talk about a company that is self-destructing before our eyes. The family entertainment company whose leaders are taking them down a path of self-destruction. I'm curious, and I'm waiting to see what shareholders say, wait a minute here. I mean, it's incredible. Incredible. Adopting these sicko positions over the family-oriented positions. Can you imagine what Walt Disney's doing in his grave? Hunter Biden. You know, Hunter Biden is now, the information just keeps coming. The big checks he got out of China, fooling around with the Communist Party. You know, we knew he was doing business in Ukraine. He's doing business, and he gets these gigantic checks, and Hunter Biden has no skills. Zero skill sets. He doesn't know how to do anything. You'd have to be some kind of fool to not say, why are people giving all this money to Hunter Biden when his daddy is vice president? Or his daddy is a former vice president? Or his daddy is president? And there's even one where the Secret Service, these accounts that are being used, says, hey, this is Celtic, code name for Joe Biden. And then for Joe Biden act like, well, I don't have any stock, I don't have any da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, did you make any money? You notice the statement doesn't say, did you get any money from it? Were any of your bills paid? Did you get any income from it? It's truly amazing. And don't think for a minute that Joe Biden and his political gangsters are full-blown political gangsters to try to stop this, plug this hole, cover up, you name it, including the Internal Revenue Service and his Attorney General. Putin threatens Europe with turning off the gas, literally, unless they pay in rubles. It'll be interesting. Reports are out that chicken and turkey and beef going through the roof. I tell you right now, I feel bad for all Americans, but particularly what we refer to in our country as middle class, lower middle class, and the poor. What inflation is doing to them. So sad. OPEC refuses to increase production. We don't need, it's so absurd that we're energy dependent, but then we're begging people to increase. Black voters are abandoning Joe Biden in droves. Think of all the reasons why they should. Healthcare costs. There's new reports out that say more and more Americans are putting off healthcare procedures because of the cost. Does that shock you? Shouldn't shock you. Republicans have now passed up Democrats in Florida registration. That's good news for our country, as well as Florida. Goldman Sachs junior bankers. See, this is what's great. These woke corporations create the monsters, then the monsters bite them back. They're refusing to come back to work in the office 5 days a week. What? Well, no, I'm not going back. What? But they create the monsters. What a bunch of little wimp sacks. Big Goldman Sachs bankers. Starting salaries $110,000. Afraid to go back into the office. ICAHN has targeted Kroger, rattling his saber a little bit. He says the reason why he doesn't like the way Kroger purchases pork, the way the pigs are treated in the supply chain. Interesting. CAITLYN Jenner has taken on a job as an official. She's been on there more and more, but apparently now she'll be paid. Contributor to Fox News. You know what? If you're going to get a transgender view of life, probably nobody better than CAITLYN Jenner. Her political views tend to align with mine. Last but not least, I want to bring this up because of Will Smith getting his Oscar playing King Richard, Venus and Serena Williams' father. And these things come up all the time, and I always scratch my head. Venus and Serena Williams' stepmother, who Richard married, she's much younger, but married and was there for a significant period of time. Her house is apparently going into foreclosure. Now, of course, I don't know all the facts and circumstances of it all, but I always marvel, I'm using this as an example, how some famous people or connected people, they hit hard times like this, and you've got these billionaire folks, and you're like, how do you not take care of them? You know, like, how does Serena and Venus and Richard not say, hey, you know, we'll take care of this? I mean, buying a house out of foreclosure, just making the mortgage payments. I always find that interesting. Weird to me. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Hope you have a great day.